guys, I thought today would be the perfect day to talk about spring summer foundations that I've found to be helpful and stay put on my combination oily skin. It may be 60 outside, I think it's like 65 today, something like that, but we know the spring and summer are coming, and the hot, humid conditions are something that I like to prep for every year. I kind of evaluate my stash, what works, what doesn't during the hot weather, and those things are in heavy rotation, you know, during that time of year. So I just thought I'd share with you what works for me. I'd love to hear what works for you, especially if you have combination oily skin, but not to leave everybody out. I think we can all get something from this. One of the things that I find most helpful to help with, you know, keeping your makeup looking decent is I kind of, you know, minimalize my makeup when it's hot outside, but I still want my face to look even, fresh, that kind of a thing. Fresh, not greasy. So there are a lot of products that I found to help. There's things you can put under your makeup and over your makeup to keep it good. Now the foundations I'm going to talk to you about, you don't necessarily need anything under or below depending on the oiliness of your skin, but I use these products just to help, you know, kind of boost the mattifying powers of the foundations that I use. I have stuff from the drugstore and stuff that is more high-end. I wanted to kind of include something at different price points for everybody. I'll talk about what you can put under your skin first. Now what you can put under your skin is a primer. Now for a long time I didn't believe in makeup primers, and I had to kind of find the right one to get me to believe. Primers, the principle of a primer, using a face primer, just like an eye primer, is to help your makeup stay. Alright, so one of the best primers that I found at the drugstore is by Black Radiance, which you can find at larger CVS's. This is the Complexion Perfection Shine Control Primer. Guys, this is $6. This is harder to find because usually I find it's at like 24-hour CVS's or CVS's in more urban areas, but $6 and you can't go wrong with this. In fact, they have a special now at my CVS with this in a package. You know how they have stuff hanging off the side? They have this and a concealer for $4.99. It's amazing. Yeah, so Shine Control, this is a decent amount. I haven't gone through my first tube. I already have my second as a backup. It's 0.84 ounces, and I reviewed it on my blog, and I'll include the link. I have links for a lot of this stuff. I will include it below so you can get more information. But again, $6 at the drugstore. Very, very good product. Over on the higher end of the scale, I did a review for this individually on YouTube, a 3-minute review. I really like Lorac Perfection Mattifying Face Primer. It's a fantastic primer to use. It does have the acne medication in it, as the other one I'm going to talk to you about does. So if you think that's too strong for your skin, I suggest that you think twice about getting something like this. It is pricey. It's over $30, and I got this at Ulta. It just works really well, keeps my makeup, you know, my issue is my T-zone. This keeps my makeup perfect all day, so I definitely will be using this this summer. Again, it does have acne medication, so if you are sensitive to that, you might want to think twice about this. You might want to get a sample at, you know, like, you know, my Sephora doesn't carry Lorac in the store, but if you come across this, I know Ulta's always have Lorac in the store. Every Ulta I've ever been to has a Lorac section. You might want to get a sample of this. Don't be afraid to get samples, guys. I know a lot of people, and I hear from a lot of people saying, you know, I can't get samples at Ulta and Sephora. Get a sample. My Ulta doesn't have the little containers out there. I bring my own. Never be afraid to get a sample, especially for a high-end product. You want to see if it works for you. Just a little public service announcement. All right, the other product that I really got a lot of use of 2 years before I found the Lorac, this has acne medication in it as well, is Clear FX's Clear Prep FX. I have a full review that I will put in the bottom bar for this product. It's fantastic. It keeps, I usually just concentrate these both in my T-zone because that's where I have the oiliness. For some reason, if I put them in my cheeks and around my mouth where I tend to be normal / dry in the cheeks, it causes irritation and skin peeling. So I keep these things away from that area, but I load them on right in my T-zone. So you definitely should consider a primer, finding the primer that works for you. That will help your makeup stay. Now let's talk about the foundations. We're going to talk about liquids first. first at the drugstore. One of my favorites ever is Revlon Color Stay, and this I finished, but I wanted to keep the container. I showed it in my last empties video, but I wanted to keep it just for this video. They make this Revlon Color Stay in a combination oily skin formula. It also comes in normal. You can get that if you have that type of skin, but it definitely helps. The combination oily skin formula is great for me during the summer, especially with the primer. This is around $10, maybe a little over. I think I paid $11 last time. I'm definitely going to get another one. This is 410 Cappuccino. That's my color. Fantastic for the summer. The new favorite that I know is going to be good, because we had a little streak of hot weather here, and I wore this during that, is CoverGirl Queen. Now, it also comes in regular color CoverGirl. It's called, I believe, Outlast. I think it's called Outlast, but the CoverGirl Queen version I use is fantastic for warm weather. We had a streak. I was out on a day where we had a day that was like between 85 and 90, I think. And this was no problem at all. Stayed put. Again, I used primer, but stayed put on me, no issues. On a normal day when it's like 80, this lasts all day, rare touch-ups. So I use Q855, which is spicy brown. Check this foundation right out. Check this foundation out. It's cheaper than the Revlon Color Stay. You can get this for like $7 if you go to somewhere like Walmart. All right. The higher end of things, I have a foundation that always works for me. This is my second or third bottle. It's from MAC. It's MAC Pro Longwear. This is a fantastic foundation I found. And just in general, if you're looking for a foundation and you have like combination oily skin, sometimes what I find for a lot of people is they look for long wearing foundations. For some reason, which actually it makes total sense, long wearing foundation, because it's supposed to be long wear, it's like there's something in there that just works and to keep your skin looking the same all day. That's what oily combination people need, so it's a really good marriage. I found a lot of long wearing foundations over the years. I keep shaking the thing, sorry. I found out a lot of long wearing foundations are a perfect fit for my skin type. Anyway, this is Pro Longwear. It came out a couple years ago, and I think this might be my third bottle. I wear NC50. It's a fantastic foundation. I can put this on at 7 in the morning, and it looks the same at 10 p.m. at night. Love this stuff. There are a lot of colors available as well. It is pricey. It's somewhere between $20 and $30, I believe. All right. The other thing that is my go-to, my end-all be-all go-to, it is Bare Minerals. This is their matte foundation. They have an original and they have a matte. I discovered this not long ago. I went through, I think, two last summer. Yeah, 2, spring, summer, I went through 2. My color is golden dark, and this is just the perfect fit for me. I would bathe in this if I could. It's fantastic. I put it on today, and I realized that this is the end for it. I have 2 backups, though. That's how crazy I am about it. This is around $27. You can get this at Ulta. Ulta will color match you, too, which is great. If you are looking to get into this, definitely get color matched, either at the boutique or, you know, at some place like Ulta. If you're really good at doing that on your own, just try it on your skin. One of the other things I won't go into too much, but when you're trying on foundation, I like to go outside in daylight, look in a mirror, see how natural it looks, because that's why this is my go-to. Summertime, it keeps my skin matte. Very rarely do I ever need to touch up with this, and it looks natural. People don't think I'm wearing makeup. When I first started wearing this, I was amazed. People that I had shopped with at different makeup counters in my town, you know, they end up getting to know me, really thought I wasn't wearing makeup every time I wear this. They don't think I'm wearing makeup, which I like. Another really good one that gets an honorable mention that what used to be a go-to for me, the color is kind of off now. Do you ever have that happen where all of a sudden something used to be your color and it isn't anymore? This is MAC Studio Fix, and it's a powder foundation. It's a really great coverage. Everything I've shown you is kind of medium coverage. It isn't like a full coverage thing. I don't have anything full coverage here. I tend to not like full coverage makeup personally. I don't like feeling like I'm wearing a mask. I like to, you know, kind of look a little more natural. But anyway, this is N9, and I love it, and I still carry it in my purse. I have 2 of these, and it's good for touch-ups. It's a little too cool tone for me now all of a sudden in my life. In the last few years, years, but it's fine. I can use it a little bit over what I am wearing on my face and it looks fine. This used to be the thing people used to think I wasn't wearing makeup when I had that. So the last thing I have to say to you is, what do you do on top of your skin? I am not a big, people ask me about loose powder all the time. I am not a big fan of loose powder. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. Maybe it's my skin tone, because a lot of times powders say that they're translucent and they end up leaving an ashy cast on me. So that's kind of made me a little wary of it. There's a couple powders I love, but my favorite of all is something I got I think almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. It's from Mally. It's harder to get. It's on QVC, but I have two of them. One is always here on the top of my makeup vanity, and the other one is always in my purse. And it's her Poreless, Evercolor Poreless Face Defender, and it is pricey. I believe this is like 30 something. But what it is basically is something clear. And I gotta tell you, I use the little puff in the bottom. This is a product you do use because it is kind of a creamy consistency. It isn't something you could use a powder brush with. I use this, which is kind of gross. I change this often. You get a little mirror too. They repackaged this and it looks a little cuter, but this is, you know, I had two, so I'm gonna use them up at that price, right? So anyway, I just do this. I wanted to show you on my finger. You can barely see anything, I think. Oh, that was hilarious. It just rolled right along my arm. Okay. Anyway, I take this during the day if I need to touch up and just pat it on. Leaves no color behind, just glorious matte-ness. Glorious, glorious matte-ness. A lot of times before I start taping a video, I will do this to my T-zone. Because, you know, when I'm making a video, I may have had my makeup on for a while, that kind of thing, and I tend to glisten in my T-zone. So you just take this and put it on there. This is my favorite ever. This is all I use now. I don't use any other powders anymore, loose or pressed. But if you know of a great pressed powder, especially if it's drugstore, let us know below. I'd like to know as well. If it's something I haven't tried, I might check it out. So guys, I hope that was helpful for you. I threw a lot of information or my thoughts on things at you. Definitely share, you know, what works for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.